Welcome, hi, all the way from the Caribbean. My son is here, totally annihilating my save plans. But anywho, it's all in the job of being a mother to a son, right? But anyways, guys, for those of you who may be tuning in now or later on, to all the fathers, to all your fathers, if there are women joining on, happy Father's Day to them. I am busy in the kitchen. It's Sunday morning, busy preparing breakfast, getting lunch ready. It's going to be a busy day, but I just wanted to highlight my dad. He got up early this morning and doing what he does best. Already cleaned the yard and just taking a break, ready for breakfast. There he is. He's saying hi. And Mathani being his own troublesome self, skinning his teeth. So how is everybody? Just say hi if you're joining us now or coming in later in the stream. I am just taking you through my garden that, of course, my daddy helped me with. He religiously, dedicatingly, if that is even a word, comes down every week and guys, just to help me out in my garden and to make sure that the plants thrive. He does the weeding and everything else, just so that Mathani and I would have fresh produce whenever we need it. And of course, my fireside is in the middle of it all, where we'll be having some fun later on. I'm baking fireside pizza and as well as my fireside multigrain plantain bread. Yes, it's going to be a packed day. I already have breakfast finished. My cocoa tea, of course, breakfast is not complete without cocoa tea. A traditional Caribbean cocoa tea, of course. Some veggies with meat saute, with, of course, my plantain multigrain bread. So it's going to be, and of course, fruit is our mango. Mango is high in season. So that's going to be, yeah, that is going to take up today's fruit with breakfast. But what I really wanted to highlight to you guys is father and the benefits or the role that fathers play in society. I'm just going to turn around the camera so that you can see. This is me. I'm sorry I'm all greasy, but I'm in the kitchen getting breakfast sorted. So I just wanted to come on being Father's Day, and because I really appreciate my dad and all that he's done and continues to do for Mathani and I, in the midst of what he has to do, because he is retired. Yeah, he's retired, but he still makes the time out of his retirement schedule just to come and ensure that Mathani and I, we're okay, right? Me being a single mom. But what I really admire my dad for is his dedication. Now, since I lost my job, a lot of you on YouTube, if not all of you on YouTube, don't know my story. You won't, because I've just started coming on this platform and sharing my journey and sharing the things that have helped me throughout my life. As a young adult, as an adult, helping me to maintain a healthy lifestyle, just simply changing the things that I do on a daily basis and having them line up in a positive sense so that I can retain my slender figure and as well as have a healthy lifestyle. Yes, so my dad has been taking every weekend time from his retirement schedule just to come and help us out at home. And it didn't just start here. When I lost my job in 2015, it was a change because I was so accustomed to being working, to working on my adult life, and having that shift, that change in my life, it was kind of shocking, but some a change that I quickly recovered from. Let me just say that, because the next day after I was liberated, I just switched to doing anything, something that I found, yeah, to do with my hands. So it wasn't really an uncomfortable change. I was able to transition quite easily. But what happened is that my dad, he, without even being asked, started coming around every weekend and asking, not asking, but seeing whatever there was to do at the house. Well, I was at an apartment at the time. I was renting. Now I have my own home. But he was coming around, whatever I had to do at home, he would help out. And ultimately, when I purchased my property, he was there with me from inception, planting planting stuff on the vacant plot of land until I was ready to build. And of course, when I was ready to build my home, he was there helping with the workmen to ensure that the work was done properly, it was done on time, and there was no shady business taking place, right? So he has been coming around to help since 2015, when that shift in my life took place. And I am so happy, and words cannot express my gratitude to my dad for making that move, taking his, using his initiative, making that move. I didn't ask. I never asked. And he recognized that possibly I would have needed help, which I did, but I just didn't know who to turn to. And he was there for me and my son. And that has always remained at the forefront of my mind. So today I just wanted to highlight the role of fathers in the lives of their children, even though the the children are grown. They don't live home. They're adults, pretty much responsible for their own life. As a parents, as fathers, if you recognize that your child needs help in some way, take the initiative. Don't wait to be asked. If you see there's a role that you can play, fill that role, fill that void, fill that need, so that your child is in the background playing, so that your child will feel comfortable knowing that, hey, my father, my parent, really understands what I'm going through and is able to help out even without me asking. Growing up, my dad, it was completely different. I wouldn't say that I had a relationship with him. Yes, we had our moments that we would chat, we would hang out, we would. It was easier to talk to him than it was to talk to my mom. But because he was so taken up with providing for his family, my dad had five mouths to feed, including his own. So he was constantly working. He was not skilled in terms of educationally, but he was skilled in his hands, with his hands. He worked on the road as a laborer every morning. And then after that, when he came home, that's about 8 o'clock at morning, when we were at school, he would then go into his garden. He did a lot of farming. And he would do that for the whole day. And then in the evening time, he would take a little rest, and then he would go night hunting and then have to wake up the next morning and repeat this cycle. So I learned my work ethic through my dad because he was constantly doing something to provide for his family. And as a result of that, because he was constantly engaged in working, he didn't really have the time to spend with us, his kids, and maybe his wife as well. So the relationship building wasn't there. I didn't know what it was to really be told I love you by my dad. My dad has never told me I love you growing up. Never. But I did not grow bitter because the absence of those words kind of helped me to fill that void with my son, to the point that when my son was born, from day one, I told him I love you from day one. And now it has become like customary, like drinking water with between me and my son, to say I love you 1,000 times a day, just so that we are both reminded how necessary it is to hear those words, right? So going back to growing up with my dad and those early days, because of the lack of that relationship, it kind of played a negative role in how I dealt with guys, with men. It was not a healthy relationship with men, right? Which is fine because we live, we learn. I've accepted that. Yes, all because of the absence. He was present, yes, doing what he knew to do, provide for his family. But the other part, he just could not, because hey, he can't be in two or three, four places at the same time. What he knew is providing for his family, and he found that to be the most important. Right? So me looking back, I now understand what he was pressed with, and he didn't know what it was like to connect with his family, his children, because he didn't get that. What he knew from his father was to provide for his family. That was the most important thing. And as I said before, I learned those things through him, from him. So that is why I have such a, yeah, my work ethic is really high. I don't stop until I'm done, because I'm always providing. But because of the lessons that I learned from my dad, I still find the time, make the time. Mathani, stop. I still take the time to connect with my son. We have our days when we would just sit and talk. I would ask him how his day was, and do the things that I missed out on growing up. I would take time to do self care activities, engage my son in those. Yes, so the thing about life is learning, and not being bitter about the things that you did not get growing up, but learning from the things that you didn't get and apply them to your life, because now you're responsible for you. And as adults, you ought to know the kind of life that you want to create, and to take the time to create that life, rather than blaming your parents and blaming other people for the things that you didn't get. Yes, so I just want to appreciate fathers today, the fathers that are actually playing their role as fathers and taking care of their children wholeheartedly, without being asked, without even being told what to do. They use their initiative to do just that. Kudos to you, and I pray that God continues to richly bless you if he's not doing it already. Because right now, my dad, he's enjoying his life. He does things at his own pace whenever he wants to. He's happy at 71, I think. Yeah, 71, 72. I get so confused because he moves like a 60-year-old. He's never sick, always working. And I think it's because he has a good mind. He's at peace with where he's at. He's done his best for his children and his family. And now he can enjoy his later years. So kudos to you, Father. So happy Father's Day to all of you dads who are doing what you're supposed to do. And may God continue to bless you richly, you and your family. So all the love here from the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago, we're signing out, because I have to go get breakfast ready, guys, and lunch and dinner, because I plan to engage in some self-care activities later on in the day. I can't be working all the time. Right, so we love you all. We will see you guys next week for sure, the last Sunday in the month. And of course, next week, Monday, is Mathani's birthday. So I am definitely going to be doing a live next week, Monday, and next week, Sunday, which is our dedicated live get together, the last Sunday in every month at 5 p.m. So see you guys on Sunday, next week, Sunday, God's will. I'm so looking forward to that, sharing with you the lessons that I learned in June. Yeah. So thank you all so much for being part of our community. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're viewing and you have not yet subscribed. We would really appreciate either a thumbs up or you becoming part of our community. Right? So enough said. I've said enough. Thank you guys so much again. We love you. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful Father's Day with your dads, for those of you who are spending the time with him. And we will speak and connect with you all soon. Love you all so much.